My notoriously reliable Jeep 4-liter hasn't been doing too good recently. You heard it, spitting, sputtering, carrying on. These late model XJs, 2000 and 2001 specifically, are known for two things, and they're not good. One, weak cylinder heads, and two, their innovative ignition system with coil packs. Let's check it out. 2000, which is what this is, was the first year Jeep decided to go with their coil rail ignition system. This would replace your distributor and coil, and instead of a distributor, we have a cam position sensor, and we have a coil rail that has 3 coils integrated into it, and it plugs into the wiring harness, and those go right over the spark plugs. And they go bad. They'll leave you sitting on the road. That's what happened to me like a month ago. I already replaced the coil and it seems like it's going out again. Now to fix this, what we're gonna do is we're actually deleting the coil rail altogether. We're gonna install K Suspension's Viper coil kit. So it's an external coil that gets mounted off to the side, and then it uses just traditional plug wires. It's plug and play, plugs right into the wire harness. So that's how we're gonna take care of the coil. Another thing known to leave you sitting on the side of the road is all your different sensors here that are on your throttle body. Throttle position sensor, mass airflow sensor, and the idle air controller. And then of course, the notorious crank position sensor that will always go bad, and you should always carry one with you. I've done 2 in the last month, one before I left for a trip and one on the side of the road, because the brand new one I bought went bad within a few hours. To solve this problem, we're going to be installing high quality sensors from NTK. They're a little bit more expensive, but it'll be good peace of mind to get this thing running good again. Let's check it out. I reckon we'll get started by throwing in our new crank position sensor right here. It's arguably the hardest thing we have to do today, so we might as well just get it out of the way. All we're gonna need is a ratchet, 7/16 socket, 13mm socket, a universal joint, a magnet steek, maybe a pry bar, oh, and extensions. Lots of them. For those of you that don't know, the crank position sensor is located on top of the bell housing, right back here in this crevice, and we gotta get it from the bottom using all them extensions. Here's the plug right here. We'll unplug it a while, and we'll come underneath. I like to remove the shift linkage right here, just get it out of the way. And then there's 2 7/16 bolts on the crank position sensor way up there. 13mm on the linkage. Now we'll get the top one. That should allow us to get this linkage out of the way. We'll get that bottom sensor bolt first. You don't need as many extensions with the swivel on top. There we go. Now we'll add an extension, get that top bolt. And we got her. Magnet, other bolt. Now we just gotta fish it out of there because it kind of sits into the bell housing. Now you also have to be careful. There's a little like rubber flap thing up here that the sensor like drops down into, and sometimes that thing will want to pop out. Luckily ours didn't. We're ready for our new sensor. This is one of the harder parts, trying to get this thing to drop in. Usually I can try and sneak my hand up here and just kind of guide it into place. All right, I got it in up there. I'm ready to start a bolt. Usually you can start your first bolt by hand unless you're working on it when it's really hot. Like, I don't know, when you're in a Dollar General parking lot doing this, for example. Got that one started. Now usually for the top one, I'll just stick it on the magnet like that, get it fished up that way. It's also the way to do it when it's hot. There we go. Now I'm just spinning my extensions with the joint on the end, get that top one started. Snugging up the bottom one now. All right, back up top now, get her plugged in. Reach down and find the plug. There it is. Let's go ahead and get the air box out of the way and start getting at all these throttle body sensors. Now, unfortunately, NTK doesn't make a IAC valve for the XJ, so I don't have a new one of them, but that is one of the ones I replaced last month, but it's just the Advanced Auto Special. So our idle air controller is back here. This actually looks like a used one. I think I swapped it again, but I have a new one somewhere, so we're not messing with that. We'll do the throttle position sensor first. T25 Torx. New NTK unit, and this sensor just has a little blade in it. It just lets the computer know how much the throttle's open. Mass airflow sensor, same deal. Now on these, there's a little rubber elbow for the vacuum, and the new NTK unit does not come with that, so we'll just have to swap that guy over quick. I did forget to mention for your cam position sensor, which is the one where the distributor would go, I already have an NTK unit in there. They do make it. Now that we got all these sensors on, we'll fire it up quick, see if made any difference. Well, so far it's not doing what it was doing and like surging. I don't know. I guess it could have been the crank sensor. It could have been any one of those three things, which is pretty much why I wanted to change all of them, because if any one of them goes bad, it'll make it run rough. Now, on to the main event. We'll throw on that Viper coil and see if it, I don't know, we'll see what it does. First, we gotta get that old coil rail out of there, and it's just 4 1/2-inch bolts. And then we just have the connector at the very back, and then we'll just pull it straight back off of the spark plugs. There it is. It kind of sucks because if you have one coil go bad, you got to replace the whole thing. Now, like I said, completely plug and play. We have our wire harness extender. This end will plug in to the factory location like such. So I'm actually going to tape mine up really quick because mine doesn't have the red locking tab, so you can actually just pull it right out. And that actually happened to me one time. It pulled out a little bit and started running rough. So this is actually nice because before I couldn't really do anything about it. But now that we have some slack, tape it right up. Now we're ready to put on our ignition coil and the bracket. You can actually get a RIP superchargers coil if you upgrade the kit, which I did. Now this bracket from K Suspension is made to go directly over your overflow tank for your radiator. So there's just a couple 8mm bolts we got to pull out. Put the bracket on. Put the coil on. So it looks like they want you to put it on this way since the plug's at the bottom, but it kind of bothers me because the words are upside down now, but oh well. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, I see how this works. It goes this way. My bad. That makes a lot more sense. We're ready to start running our plug wires. First, I'm gonna put some dielectric schmutz on all the points here, along with a little bit on all the spark plugs. Now, they will try and sell you some spark plugs with the kit, but ain't fooling me. Good old Autolite 985s, and I will not be convinced otherwise. We'll start with number 1. We'll grab a long wire, like that or something. And what's cool is the coil is actually labeled. Might be hard for you to see, but number 1 is this middle one towards the firewall, and they're all labeled right here. Boop, 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 boop. All right, I'm beginning to think I mounted this upside down and the plug should be in the front because this wire is really tight and it's the longest one they sent. All right, that looks a whole lot better. Number 1 is in, and I got 6 in there too, and everything's fitting. So get the rest of these plugged in. Got all the plugs routed. All we gotta do now, connect the battery, fire it up. That's on there. I should probably also plug it in. Plenty of slack. Fire it up. Did I put them on right? Do it again. Yeah, something's messed up. Ooh, smoky. Let me look into it for a minute. Went on the K Suspension website real quick, and this is how they want you to route it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that is not how this is, but I guess that makes sense since it's not an XJ part. Yeah, let me get that flipped around real quick. I think we finally got it. So I had to flip it again because number 1 wouldn't reach even with the longest. So flipped it again so the plug's facing the back. Now 1, 2, and 3 are all on one side, and 4, 5, and 6 are all on the other side. So let's see if that was it. There we go. Much better. Vacuum leak. Nice. Sounds like normal, but time for a test drive. Feels pretty good on the main road. All right, we'll get turned around here. It's running a whole lot better. Now, there's not a whole lot more we can test. I mean, it fires right up, gets through the gears, runs good. Put the engine under some load for science. There we go. Peel. All right, now we got it warmed up, right? One wheel peels on the other side, I guess. for the angle, but we do one more? Yeah. Okay. Gas light. Nice. How's this side look? Oh, there's some rubber on there. The Jeep is running better than ever, so I guess I don't need to replace my IAC valve. But honestly, if you have a 2000 or 01 XJ and your coil rail gives out, it's well worth it. Super simple install, and it'll be much more reliable than what we took out. Also, I will have the NTK part numbers in the description. That's gonna wrap it up for this one, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Take it easy. See you in the next one.